Alright, so today we're going to look at dividing with mixed numbers. And this is exactly like dividing with fractions with one slight change. So if I had 1 2/3 divided by 1/3, right? That would be like how many 1/3 are in 1 2/3. Trying to see how many times can 1/3 go into 1 2/3. Well, in this case, I can't really do it how it is, so I'm going to take the mixed number and I'm going to change it into an improper fraction. So how I would do this, I would say 1 2/3, we say multiply, add, and then keep that. So it would be like 1 times 3 plus 2. Okay, 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So I have 1 2/3 is equal to 5/3 divided by 1/3. Then I can implement our keep, change, flip, which would be the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. Again, that keep, change, flip is just to help us remember it, but we are actually multiplying by its reciprocal, which is what happens when you flip it over. So I flipped this, or the reciprocal of 1/3 is 3/1, and then I have a multiplication problem where I can say this can be divided by 3, so it's going to become a 1, divided by 3, so it becomes a 1. 1/3 can go into 5/3 5 times. If I was going to model this problem, then I would have to draw 5/3, or you could think of it as 1 2/3. Right? That's 1 2 3 4 5/3, or it's 1 whole and 2/3. Same thing. So I want to see how many times 1/3 goes in there. So I have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups. This would be an example in the real world. Would say I'm taking 1 2/3 of a cake, and each person that's coming over gets 1/3 of a cake. How many people can come over? 5 people can, right? 5 people can eat cake. Taking this 1 2/3 cake, splitting it into groups of thirds, and I could get 5 people to come over. One other example for you would be, let's say I had 2/5 of a gallon of paint, and I need to split it between 4.5 walls. Okay, so I'm taking 2/5 of a gallon of paint and split it between 4.5 walls. So I need to change this to an improper fraction. 2/5 divided by 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. That's the same thing as 2/5 divided by 9/2. And I want to write a multiplication problem. So that's going to be 2/9, keep, change, flip, 2/5 times 9, 2/5 times 2/9, I'm sorry. So dividing by 9/2 is the same as multiplying by 2/9, multiplying by the reciprocal. Then I'm going to multiply it out for 40/5 of a gallon for each wall. Yeah, so if I had 2/5 of a gallon of paint and I need to split it between 4.5 walls, we would get 4 40/5 gallons for each wall.